we're going to use a photograph of a man in a profile view to see how we are going to draw and paint. In this workshop, we're going to first study from each part of the whole picture with pencil, charcoal, and watercolor. Starting from the eye, the nose, the mouth, and the ear before we come to put all this together to become a whole portrait. Today I'm going to show you how to draw the mouth area with charcoal. First, I'm going to use my blending stump. We already draw the nose in the last lesson. I'm going to just mark this will be the bottom of the nose. I can draw a straight line from this turning point and come down all the way here. Just focus on this part. There's a lot of a little turn, but we're not looking at. We focus on the straight line. We need to be able to learn how to ignore certain things. At the beginning, you're gonna ignore small details. Okay, from here to the bottom here, we're gonna find the proportion. And first, let's divide it into 3. And we're gonna find where they belong to, those 3 points. Okay, I think the first one is right on the upper lip, right here. And the second one is right at the turning, right under the lower lip. So this is the upper lip and the lower lip. How they connected into here, look like a triangle, like that. So this is the 1, and then 2, and then the rest is 3 under the chin. Okay, that's roughly how we divide this into the 3 proportions. Now I'm going to use my hard charcoal pencil. I'm going to see, starting over here. Now this is the upper lip. A small triangle this way, and actually the whole mouth look like a triangle like this, and it's just divide a little small triangle in here, and then we get like the heart shape, this side view heart shape, like that. And then coming in here, like divide a little bit triangle out from this piece, and now become the chin. This is how we see things in a visual way. How we see it in construct with different shapes, and upper here a little bit turn and straight back, coming looking for the angles. Okay, that's the nose. Now this is good. We got the shape correct now. Next thing, we're gonna apply the value. And we can see that we can force it to have different shapes. Okay, this is a darker shape right in here, and then the lip obviously is darker shade because the skin tone is different, and here has a little bit lighter than the upper lip, but let's shade it with the value. And there is some light over here, some light area here. it won't be visual much until we make the background to be a little darker. And also here we can force it into a shape. And you might ask, why do you want to force it into a different value of shapes? This is how we blocking into bigger areas before we look into small changes. And down here, we can divide this into this shape, a little darker, divide it into from here compared to the upper area, like that. Now, also in this area, we actually have a middle tone. That tone continue coming down here. Now I'm going to use my finger or the blending stone to smooth the texture, unless you like the rough texture. If you don't, you can smooth it. And then next you can also create a transition. And this actually have a small light shape coming down here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to also make the background to be a little bit darker. So I just push some powder into the background area. If you want more, I can use wine charcoal. Just blend it in here. To make the background even a little bit darker. Now what we want to do, first we use the charcoal to make some area even a little bit darker. I'm going to use a medium. I'm going to start from the top here. This area can be a little bit darker. Okay. Good. Now I come down here to the upper lip, and this have a darker line. Okay, the corner of the mouth is a little bit darker too, like that. Good. Now we create some small differences before we just focus on the bigger shape. I think this a little bit, slightly a little bit lower. Create a little bit subtle differences. And now coming down here, a little bit darker here too, a little bit. And now move it down to under the chin, this area, a little bit darker. Smooth it a little. You know, the next thing what we're going to do, we're going to use eraser to create a lighter shape. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to make a small light shape right in here. Okay, and also we create a very bright light shape in this area. Okay, and now I want to clear up the differences between these two skin tones draw with the eraser. That's good. I want to blend this value a little bit down here, make it a little bit smoother. Okay, good. On the edge over here, I also want to create some differences. There's light coming from the background. Now we'll create a difference between the background value and this value. Create a little jump. Even the jump is quite subtle. This is good. And I also want to create a little bit more difference between the skin outside and the lip tone. Like this, good. Now let's get better and better into the shape by create those differences. So what next I'm going to do, I'm going to use a hard charcoal pencil. I'm going to create some small definitions over here. Is a little bit, clear a little bit more the shape, okay, coming in here. There is a continue from here gradually coming up with the value. So, but it's not so dark. I'm going to make a little softer tap on it. And now I come down to the edge over here. I want to create a bit difference because this light shape is very bright. So how I'm going to do that? I'm going to make the background a little bit darker. Now we create a difference, which is also value contrast. We call it value contrast to make this outside darker to compare to this bright colors. Okay, now come down here. This is actually a little bit lighter than here. It's a gradual return. Now is the time. Now we look into to clear out the relationship between a small area. So okay, here, but it cannot be light as this colors. So I'm gonna softly a little bit. Okay, that's better. I'm going to stick with the hard charcoal pencil because I don't want it to be too dark. And here should be a little, starting over here, a little bit softer, a little bit darker, not so bright. Okay, like that. And then come down looking at it here, need to clear a little bit, and now come down a little softly. This is gradually coming down, and actually this side is a little bit darker than that, but it's not very dark, still kind of like in the light side. Okay, and I can make these areas a little bit lighter. Going to, it's good. I'm going to move this line a little bit outside. Good. Now I give you a little better suggestions where this is going to turn. Okay. And I'm going to close up, make that light gap to be a little smaller. And I'm going to give a little suggestions. That's the outside, and here I can draw very softly to move the shape a little bit smaller. Okay, but that should not have that much of contrast, so I'm gonna just make it softer. Okay. That's better, and this should be a little lighter here too, this shape. Okay, this shape, light shape, Okay, it should be a little lower. Soften it. So every little tone that you create, it actually defines the structure underneath the skin. Okay. The next one I'm going to do, I'm going to create even the smaller details, like in the upper lip here. We're seeing a bit of texture by using the eraser to create a soft texture. That's good. Okay, it's not very clearly, but it's just a little texture. Just I can use my eraser to control it. And this skin, it's a little bit lighter here, but this is kind of softly blending. So I'm going to remove a little bit value on the lip. Like that. Now we finish the study of the mouth area with the charcoal. This is a part of the whole workshop of how to do a watercolor painting of a profile portrait. For our patron, you can view the entire workshop in the patron area. You can upload your own images, getting feedback or give feedback to other patrons, and I'm also going to answer any questions that you have inside the patron. See you there.